assalamu alaikum, ji ayanu, pakhair ragale, ni hao, chunashumme, washmale, ohio gonzaimus, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyat, kaifahal, hale shamachutore, ahlan wasalan, marhaba. And a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the one and only, the very fantastic, the very full of energy Shahzad Khan. Well, today I think that, my energy is not at the optimum level and there are certain reasons for that. And the reason I think is that I'm overworked. And I like this feeling of being overworked as well. So I'm very thankful to my Allah Almighty for giving me such amount of work, which I think I should actually be doing justice to as well. For all those people who are out there, I think it's your time to rise and shine, wake and bake, get up and be more focused about whatever you want to do in life and do that step by step. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it has been raining over here in Islamabad and it has been raining cats and dogs. The weather is once again very cold. Please make sure to wear warm clothes. But other than that, while I was driving towards my workplace today, this is something which I think is very romantic. And it's romantic because of the fact that it's raining and then it's foggy too as well. And then, if you're actually passing by the mountains, it's a lovely sight to look at. So if you're planning to go out with your family, I think today is the day. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, today, since it's 21st of February, I would like to start the show with a quote. And the quotation is very simple. It says that, if you know another language, it's like possessing another soul. What a wonderful quotation it is. But why am I saying it particularly in reference to 21st of February? Because it's International Mother Language Day, ladies and gentlemen, today. And whenever we talk about mother language, I think it is about cultural diversity and the acceptance of people too as well. It was adopted by UNESCO in 1999. And this year's theme is to promote indigenous languages, which may probably be referred to as regional languages, but we will definitely use the term indigenous. But to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, on the right hand side, we have actually been joined by people who actually supported the cause, and then they made sure that they're going to come up with an idea where they're actually going to promote these indigenous languages. So how is something that, on 16th and 17th of February, there was this festival which took place as well. And the sole reason of that festival was to promote these languages as well. So, to be in conversation with people who are actually promoting your languages, I think is an honor for me. So before I probably introduce them to you, there's one thing which I wanted to say, and I've always been saying that because I'm a keen learner of other languages. I mean, I think I can speak Pashto, I can speak a little bit of Arabic, a little bit of Chinese too as well. So a little bit of know-how of any other language is something which probably gets my interest. So, to talk about languages, ladies and gentlemen, over here in Pakistan, we have actually more than 70 languages. Well, my figure might not be correct, but this is the figure I've been using because lately I just got to know there are 67 languages over here in Pakistan. I do not even know the names of all of those languages. So, I think today is the day that we get to know how many languages do we have in our country, how do we promote them, how many of them are endangered, and what actually happened into the festival too as well. So on my right-hand side to discuss about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by the board member in this cultural forum, Ms. Nusrat Zahra. Hello, assalamu alaikum, kya haal hai aapka?
Walaikum assalam. बहुत शुक्रिया मुझे बुलाने का and thank you so much. This is the Mother Language Day and I want to say congratulate to all of you because हमारी ज़बानें हमारी पहचान, our languages, our identity. It's the identity of our culture, our diversity.
Yeah.
And in Pakistan we have multicultural country, we are multilingual country, and this is the beauty of our country. Shahzad was talking about weather and the fog and the mountains, but I want to talk about the beauty of our language, the beauty of our culture, the colors, and we all should be proud of our culture and languages.
Exactly, we are, which is why that I actually started the show with Urdu Assalamu Alaikum too as well, and which is why I introduce you like that. But other than that, the medium today, ladies and gentlemen, will be English because of the fact that it's an English channel, but there's no harm in talking about other languages. But alongside Ms. Nusrat Zahra, ladies and gentlemen, one of those people whom I respect a lot while I was in my university. He never taught me, but other than that, he actually used to teach other classes, and I think that he was one of the very famous professors in our university too as well because of his teaching methods. He's a lecturer at NUML these days as well. He's none other than Mr. Asif Rasool. Hello sir, Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. How is it to be a guest on your students' show?
I mean, it's really wonderful, especially when you have got not a student like a person who was studying at the same time. He's so much jubilant, vibrant early in the morning. Really, it really feels very good. I
Thank you
mean,
very much, sir.
it
Thank you
changes a
very
lot.
much. I think it's all of what you actually taught us too as well. But ladies and gentlemen, there's one more person whom I would like to introduce. He's online with us, ladies and gentlemen. We have been joined by the chairperson in this cultural forum. He's none other than Mr. Niaz Nadeem. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I am very well. Thank you very much for taking me on your
Niaz
show.
Saab, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Niaz
me?
Saab is online with us from Karachi. Let me check whether he's online with us or not. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, how are you?
I am good. Can you hear me?
Weather in Karachi.
It's much warmer than Islamabad.
Yeah, I know that. It's very cold over here because I was
the-
in Karachi like 3 days
people
ago
who are-
and I was roaming around without a jacket. And as soon as I landed over in Islamabad, I could feel as if, I'm not going to be well because I wasn't wearing a jacket. But all of these things aside, sir, there's this one thing. Today is a very important day. Today is International Mother Language Day as well. How would you highlight the day and what is your message to all those people who are out there who are listening to you right now?
I think first of all, I would like to say that for last 4 years, we are celebrating linguistic diversity by holding this Pakistan Mother Language Literature Festival every year at Waqas. Secondly, I think the best way to highlight is to remember the Article 28 of the Constitution of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, which talks about preservation, protection, and promotion of all the languages, dialects, scripts, and cultures of Pakistan. So I think the government of Pakistan and the society should accept the linguistic diversity. We are very colorful, very diverse country, and we should be proud of our diversity. That would be my main message for the day.
I think that your message is great, but sir, I think that it's only a message too as well because, whenever we talk about preservation, there are more than 30 languages which are endangered within Pakistan too as well. So, we're not even preserving them and we're not even promoting them. What initiatives do you think need to be taken in order to preserve and promote these languages?
I think the article of the Constitution, which I just referred, talks about establishing the institutions which should promote the languages and the scripts. And I think you are very much right that about 27 languages of Pakistan are endangered. And what we need to do is, first of all, preserve whatever there is available in these languages. Then, try to protect those people who are speaking these languages, and encourage those who are writing them. And other than that, even the mainstream languages, big languages like Urdu, Sindhi, Punjabi, Balochi, Pashto, Birawi, Saraiki, these languages are also, very important because lots of our parents do not think that these are very important languages. I think science has proven that if you teach your children in your mother languages, their learning ability will be increased but not decreased. So I think parents should take pride in speaking their language and reading and writing their own language, encouraging their children to read and write their own language.
Sir, don't you think that even the mothers, are not even speaking Saraiki, Pashto, Punjabi, and whatnot as well? And other than that, for example, even if you're traveling, last year when I went to England, for example, for all those people who've actually gave birth to the third generation and, they've all grown up, they do not even know how to speak Urdu. So where do you think that we are headed? I think that it's a calamity.
Totally agree with you because I think the problem with our mothers and our fathers and our society is that we are subject to this complex of inferiority and we think that the English is the way to the power, English is or any other language is way to the power. But I think once we start respecting our own language, once we start talking into our own language and writing in our language, children will be proud of it. And I think we need to learn from many other countries where, like France, like China, like Germany, where people do not speak other languages, but force others also to speak their own language. So I think what we need to do is, teach parents, teach children, teach others that, if you speak in your own mother language, you are no way lesser or, inferior from any other community or groups.
Exactly. I think that was a great message. Thank you very much, Niaz Saab, for being with us. It was lovely to have you on such a wonderful day as well. Thank you very much for highlighting the importance of mother languages too as well. But let me just move on to Mr. Asif Rasool over here. So now, what is your take on this day as well? And for all of those questions which I posed to Mr. Niaz, that the third or the fourth generation overseas do not now even know how to speak Urdu. So how do you think that we are actually going to preserve these languages?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'll just start off with this Nelson Mandela's quote.
Sure.
If you talk to a man in the language he understands, it goes to his head. But if you talk to a person in the language, his own language, it goes into his heart. So we'll start up with this, like, since I'm from academia, so I'll just focus on this important aspect of giving this primary instruction in mother tongue, because it plays a very important role. How? Because it carries a complete package. Because when we just look at the style of learning, like when the way the kid is interacting with his mother, that's wonderful. Like, there is no imposition from mother side, there is no second, and the way she is just developing different ways to develop vocabulary, structure, and all that. It's really fascinating. But the same kid, when the same kid goes to the school, he has to go for another language, especially at primary level. We are not just talking about higher level, primary level. And the problem starts, he was really feeling very much comfortable. So when you're just when you negate this first language, it means you negate the identity of that child.
Exactly.
So ultimately, he has to go through a lot of frustration, tension, problem in order to understand. Now it gets very difficult for him.
Exactly.
So the basic perspective and premises, and even UNESCO says that we have got to basically work on this thing, and we have got to develop this thing that people, they have got to, especially in academia at school level, we have got to develop this aspect that they should provide, this basic language in their own mother tongue, because they really feel comfortable. It's really very much fascinating. Even parents can participate very actively to develop the child. So this is how it becomes a very wonderful activity.
Exactly, and I think that the academic institutions actually need to play a role in it too as well. How that can be done is different. But since you mentioned a quote, I remembered another quote as well, and the quote says that if you spoke a different language, you will somewhat have a different perception of the same world. So, I would want you people to elaborate on this.
I will just start with this very famous hypothesis of Sapir and Wolf hypothesis.
Go ahead, sir.
It says that we perceive our outer world through our minds, which is controlled mainly by the language which you speak. It means, like, the language which you normally speak or the children they are exposed to, they are just going to get the external perspective. It means they're just having their own culture and all that. So if you're just going to limit them, they won't be able to, like, I've seen kids, like, when they just go to school and they're just going to be taught in the second language, it's really going to limit them. And there is a very important perspective in this regard. It says that if this first language is very strong, it's really going to support learning the other language as well, the general understanding as well. So it's like providing them with a lot of vocabulary, with very good structure, like with the perspective of this outer world. So when they have got a bigger horizon, it really helps them to, in a customized way, to prosper.
I truly get that. And before I move on to Ms. Nusrat, I've got a very amazing fact, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, that within Chinese language, there are more than 50,000 letters, okay? And only if you knew 2,000, you can actually read a newspaper. So imagine that, what kind of learning that is. But Ms. Nusrat, let's talk about the festival which took place on the 16th and 17th. And why do you think that this initiative was taken by the Indus Cultural Forum?
This is our flagship event, and this year we had organized the 4th Festival of Mother Language Literature. Festival, and from all over the country we have invited almost 150 writers, critics, poets, and they were representing more than 15 languages. So we are very proud of it, that because some of them were actually traveled for the first time to Islamabad and represented, and they had 8 to 10 books on their credit. So this is something we are showcasing, the mother languages literature, and we are giving platform to all the writers to come and present them. And this year our theme was critical thinking and the translations to bridge the gap between the languages. When you learn, like you have told and the Doc Sahab has told, that when you learn another language, you got another soul. I mean, you got to know another civilization. So through this our festival of mother language, we are trying to promote all our languages, and we can say that now I feel very good about it, that we are doing something good. People are taking interest about their language. If you are not giving 2 or 3 sessions to one language, they come to us and they ask us. So this year we have presented our 3 books, and they are the collection of the poetry, the speeches we had during our and the short stories, and we have given into form of 3 books in Urdu. And these 3 books have more than 20 to 25 languages we have covered. I mean, this is from you can say from Kashmir to Karachi, and this is because we belong to Indus Cultural Forum. So yeah, this is my book, Lisani and Sakafati Tano. I have compiled it. This is selective poetry, and this has been compiled by Niaz Nadeem, we have just talked. And this is a short story book. This is collection, and it has more than Muntakhib Afsane, or this has been compiled by Shabnam Gul, a very prominent Sindhi
So within
writer.
these books, we have got like 25 sort of different languages translated into Urdu.
Yes.
Okay, so this
including English.
Including English. Now the point over here is that we actually want to save those languages which are endangered. Now translating those languages into Urdu will not help. But before we move on to that, we definitely have a small video to share. But I have got another quotation, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, I think I woke up like this today. So, if you, I think, so the quotation is something like that if you have a woman who reads, a woman who reads is gold to a man who thinks. Wow, what a wonderful quotation that is. We've got a small video to share. Take a look, and when you will come back, I'll ask them that, if we are going to translate every other language into Urdu, how do you think that we're saving other languages? That's the question. I think that we... All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the magic thingy which actually took place. So this is the beauty of live shows, The video was actually stuck and we actually had to go for a break, but I was like that, it's a live show. No problemo. So yeah, before moving on towards the video, ladies and gentlemen, we were actually in conversation with Ms. Nusrat, and I asked Ms. Nusrat that how do you think that you're actually saving all of those endangered languages by translating them into Urdu?
Actually, this is for the communication, and just to prove that the literature is of world class. So that's why we have been given, and the Urdu is lingua franca beside our national language. So these languages has the potential, the energy, the folk wisdom, the local. So we want to, if we will give this space, and the people who are speaking these languages will go back to their language, they will start writing and reading again. We were discussing that 27 of the languages are, in danger. 5 or 7 of them are, only 5 to 7 people are there of the elder generation. When they will die, the language will die. So this is something very, depressive.
Just because I'm always very keen to know about other languages and try to learn their hellos and highs and whatnot. So can you just name a few other languages which exist in Pakistan and people might not know of those languages as well? Those names of the languages, can you do that?
Oh my God. Every time we have introduced like some of the dialects of Sheena and Turwali, yes, Turwali, only 8 people are speaking, and one of the expert, Mr. Zubair Turwali, I should take his name. He is working very hard for his language.
So see, imagine we never knew that Turwali was actually
Turwali,
a
and
language.
only Turwali, and one of the professor who is working with us in our advisory board. She is also working for a language, and now only 5 or 6 people are speaking, and it's very far-flung area, and now they are trying to give the name, original name. So I mean, Miss Uzma, and government has supported her for her PhD.
Amazing.
So I mean, we have a lot of languages. I don't want to take the names because people will feel offended, and obviously because we are trying and we are hopeful.
Yeah.
So all the languages, they have potential to.
Exactly.
I mean,
and ladies and gentlemen, I truly understand that, because half of the time whenever you're hosting shows in front of the audience, for example, if I mention Punjab, or if I would have mentioned Sindh, you know, there'll be people, when they'll come up to me and they'll be like, why haven't you mentioned Balochistan? Why haven't you mentioned KPK or Kashmir? You know, so this is one problem. But please make sure that, you know, whenever we say such stuff, it's not, obviously we're talking about everybody. It's not about mentioning the names, but I think it's important to mention the names. But Mr. Asif, now what would you recommend towards the end of this segment? How do you think that the institutions need to play their role, the academic institutions? How do you think that they can promote all of these endangered languages? At least within their libraries, we can do that.
Exactly. According to this ethnograph 2009 log, 74 languages are spoken in Pakistan, and like 2 or 9, they are in danger, and 2 are dying. So, I mean, we have got to take certain measures to protect these languages or preserve them. But problem is, while just preparing this program, when I went through different seminars,
Videos,
different conferences and all that, I found that literally we are confused, hybrid nation culturally, linguistically, and even policymakers that are concerned. We do not have so far very clear policy. So how you are going to protect those languages? Because until unless there is no proper government policy, so how people are going to take interest? I mean, you have got to develop a policy, and in order to develop that, you have got to develop awareness among people, and ultimately you have got to support certain groups like this. And it's really amazing work. I really enjoyed after preparing and really understanding this whole phenomena. This is a wonderful work in context of this translation. But still, when it comes to preserving a language, we have got to work a lot, because historically, if we just see the movement, and Dr. Shahid Siddiqui, he perhaps wrote one article 2 or 3 days back in the news, English paper. He said that historically there are 2 perspectives. One is this melting pot. Now, what is the phenomena? This melting pot, these, according to their perspective, these languages which have no proper usage, actually they do not have any right to exist. So they have to be put in a process where they have got to completely get into the superior language. Superior means people who are going to come in. This is like wrong perception about the languages. So they usually go through that test, and ultimately they are going to get extinct. So in order to avoid that, there is another school of thought. They said that every language has got the right to exist. So from this day's point of view, we have got to celebrate, and we have got to develop awareness and all that.
And we should always do that too as well. I mean, when I was a child, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we siblings, we used to actually speak fake boli. I mean, I don't know whether how many people are fattafi. You know, so we had our own language. So for example, if we are going out somewhere, if there are a lot of other people around us, we used to speak in that language. So, you know, it was a secret language. And for example, even if you have like a secret love affair or something, and you both know a different language, imagine what kind of communication you can have in front of all of those people. It is very interesting. And which is why, you know, there's this one more thing that, you know, when you speak a language for a language, and it is because of language, I think that, you know, the feeling is different too as well. But how would you want us to wrap it up? You know, any message you want to give out?
Thank you, Dr. Saab. We follow the second part of your speech, that like every language has right to exist, and every person has right to speak his and enjoy his mother language. So according to the Article 28, the government is trying to give give the right of mother language and give the status of national language to other languages. Last 4 or 5 years, a lot of bills, I mean 2-3 bills have been presented in Senate and National Assembly. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the sole result, but we all are trying to get that. Every language should get the national language status, like a lot of federal governments in all over the world. Even 2 years ago, when almost 50, more than 100 writers were here. The Senate committee called all the writers from the Indus Cultural
Exactly.
Forum, and we went there and we presented our demand that our language should be, all the language should be.
Indeed,
national
that's
language.
great. Thank you
Yeah,
very much,
thank
Mr.
you.
Sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Asif, for being with us on this very amazing day as well. But for people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's the writer's responsibility to write in all of those languages too as well. Writers these days, I think, are getting a little commercial. You know, they want to write in a language where people are actually going to buy their
Yeah,
book and read
yeah.
that too as well. They're very right. But I think it's the writer's responsibility in the first place, because if the content is available, only then people will be able to learn. But please don't go anywhere, because now when you guys will come back, earlier we were talking about mother language. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the language of heart, which indeed is music for me. Let's see what is it for you. Good morning.
Book is life. Book is hope. And book is light for the future.
Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad. The abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains. Spread over an area of 12,605 hectares, the Magla Range, the foothills of Himalayas, are youngest hills with an age of 5,000 years old. Magla Hills are home to around 600 plant species, 250 bird varieties, 38 mammals, and 13 species of reptiles.
Welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watch World this morning alongside Shahzad Khan. Earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, we were in conversation with our guests and we were observing International Mother Language Day. But now, ladies and gentlemen, before going towards the break, as I told you that, for me, the language of hearts is actually music. And for that, there's this one thing which I wanted to reiterate upon, and that is that, every other country, when we listen to their country music, there's a different sound to it. So today we are very lucky, and I'm very honored that we've actually been joined by a musician from Spain. Espanol. I think that's what it is. And he's actually with his guitar, with his instrument. We're going to listen to a lot of songs. We do have a language barrier in between because he understands British English quite a lot better. So I'm going to try to make my accent sound like a little British as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we have actually been joined by Raul Viella from Spain. Hi, how are you? Buenos dias.
Buenos dias, okay. How
Thank
are
you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you.
Thanks to you, thanks for inviting me.
What are you doing in Pakistan?
Well, I'm going to play 3 concerts.
Yeah.
This afternoon I'm going to play the PNCA here in Islamabad.
Yes.
And in 2 days I'm going to play in Lahore in Literary Festival. And in 4 days I will to play in Karachi.
Wow.
Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, Raul is actually going to play in all 3 major cities of Pakistan, starting from PNCA in Islamabad tonight.
Yeah.
And then he'll be going to Lahore, and then he'll be going to Karachi too as well. But the kind of performances he'll be giving away will be shared right now with you people. So what are we going to listen to?
Well, I'm going to play a piece, a best known piece from the music in Spain, and a reference in all over the world, which is called Asturias from Isaac Albeniz.
Asturias. Okay, let's do it. That was very mesmerizing early in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. You just cannot imagine how good I feel right now. That was wonderful, Rahul. But talking about that, it's more than 30 years that you've been playing a guitar. And this particular technique, do we refer to it as plucking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spanish, the guitar Spanish music is about plug and rasgueo. Plug is like that, like the.
This is plug. Okay. And there's this other one as well where they go very
rasgueo
fast.
is, for example.
Yeah. So can we have something of that sort too as well? Can you play something of that sort for us too as well?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is a piece that I'm going to play tonight as well.
Let's do it.
Fantasia Sevillana by Joaquin Turina.
Wow. Recording within the recording. Wow, that was super. That was super too as well. But whenever we talk about music, with Spanish music, the sound is very different from all of those other conventional musicians. When we listen to them, the guitar sounds the same. So is it a different guitar, or is it the different keynotes which you play on these frets?
It's a very particular guitar because it's be composed about very some special goods of different parts of the world.
Okay.
And there are many the guitar family, so to say it's a very wide family. But in this case, the Spanish classical guitar is a very specific.
Okay.
You have to take care with it.
Right,
It's
because
very
I can see a hard box over there too as well. And since when you're traveling, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely need a hard box to carry your guitar, especially if the components came from all over the world. So I think that's great. But Rahul, towards the end, we're only left with 5 minutes. Do you want to play another piece for all our amazing viewers who are out there?
Okay.
Let's
okay,
do that.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes. Wow, that was wonderful once again, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, it got very confusing for me too as well. So actually, since I haven't heard these pieces, so I don't know when it's actually going to end too as well. But it was great to have you on the show, Rahul. It was wonderful that you came all the way from Spain. You'll be performing tonight at PNCA, and after 4 days in Lahore, and then in Karachi too as well. So we wish you best of luck, and we are glad that you were here as well. So while you were here, if there's anything you want to say to us about Pakistan, go ahead, please share it with us, whatever you feel.
I want to say that I'm so happy playing the guitar, and I tried in these three concerts to try to extend and that the people feel the same feelings that I feel when I play, and to transmit the essential of the Spanish music.
Wow, that's great. Thank you very much for being with us, Rahul. It was wonderful to have you, and for all those people who are out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it for today. If there's anything you want to write to us about, please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is somewhat here. I think I have to do it every day. Yeah, here. Well, this morning on Daily Motion and YouTube, it's well this morning. The fabulous repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Thank you.